podcast called Living the Stream comes to you each week. Streaming recommendations during NFL season, it's not just tongue-in-cheek. Quarterback, defense, tight end recommendations based on opposition matchup. Here are your podcast hosts, JJ Zachariason and Denny Carter, Living the Stream.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Living the Stream. I'm JJ Zachariason, the late-round quarterback. And as always, I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Denny Carter. Denny, what's going on?
I want everybody to make sure that they do the following thing, or they don't do the following thing. Do not tell your local newspaper that JJ is upset about our Week 10 fantasy football matchup, because he's not. He's not mad. He's not upset.
Look, I'll say this. Okay, the listener league that we're in is my worst fantasy football team that I drafted this year. So that's bad enough. Okay, that the listener. I mean, I remember when I was drafting that team, I'm like, I'm going to get guys that I don't always get, and turns out I shouldn't do that. That's just a really bad idea to draft guys that you don't typically get. I got like Brian Thomas and Chuba Hubbard in that league. Like I was hard fading Chuba all year. But the Apex League is different. The Apex League is one that's near and dear to our hearts.
Yeah.
You know, every year we would love to win it. And my team has gone through some stuff. You know, I have Amari in Hampton, I have Travis Hunter, and I'm gonna set the stage for people here. Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
So I lost Travis Hunter, you know, midweek when all that went down, whenever he had that injury in practice or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it was right before he was supposed to be like a focal point in their offense, like right before that happened. So that was really tilting because there was a ceiling that was potentially going to come with Travis Hunter. I was going through my leagues and I'm adding Parker Washington as that went on. And I got Washington in a good number of leagues, and I, you know, have a lot of exposure, fortunately, as a result of that. But Apex was one where I didn't get Parker Washington because Denny Carter had the trigger finger and he just went after him immediately, despite the fact that I'm the one that deserves Parker Washington because I lost Travis Hunter. Everyone knows that. I deserve Parker Washington when I have Travis Hunter. Okay. Don't talk. Shut your mouth. Okay. So then fast forward to week number 10. I'm facing Denny. Denny happens to have Jamar Chase on bye. Denny also happens to have Bucky Irving on his team.
Yeah.
And so Denny is down bad, similarly as I am down bad.
So bad.
I'm currently in a playoff spot where I'm like a fringe, you know, like 5th, 6th place team. Every win matters, you know, in this scenario. Cause you know, we do play against a league median, thank God, after the story I'm about to tell, but you know, every win matters. So I'm going up against them. I think going into the week, now MFL's win probability is straight trash. It's horrible.
Oh, you can't even look at it.
But going into the week, I think it was like a 75-25 thing. And I probably would give it like that kind of probability, just given the lineups that we had, right? Because you didn't have Bucky and Jamar Chase, and you know.
I mean, I had to start Jerry Jeudy.
This is Denny's lineup, guys. Okay. All right.
Oh,
Daniel Jones, Zach Charbonnet, Kenneth Gainwell. He started Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Gainwell against me.
And I benched Algier.
You did bench Algier, which I was happy about until what happened on Monday. I wish you would have just started Algier. Would have taken me,
right.
You know, not been as miserable.
Right.
Jawan Jennings, Jerry Jeudy, Parker Washington, Jamison Williams. Now you hear those names and you say, oh, wow, every single one of them scored a touchdown. Every single one. Not one of them did not score a touchdown. Zach Charbonnet scored a touchdown. Oh, you have Tyler Warren against the Falcons defense. The Falcons defense has been amazing against tight ends this year. Oh, no big deal. He just goes for 8 for 99 and they go into overtime where they probably got extra points from there too. And then you start Jason Myers, who scores 16 points. And then you get the Browns defense that gets 5. Okay. They weren't that great, but whatever. Okay. That was your team last week. Your team went ballistic versus how well they should have done. My team actually did well too.
It did do well.
I had Jackson Dart, who, by the way, got concussed and knocked out of that game, which if he didn't, I would have won our matchup almost definitely.
Easily.
Jahmyr Gibbs, 38.2 points for me. Woody Marks has a great day. DeAndre Swift has a pretty good day. He doesn't find the end zone though. And then my wide receivers, I'm going to save one of them because I'm going to talk about him. Stephon Diggs, Jalen Waddle, both score touchdowns. Both had good days. Then there's a third wide receiver. Then I started Dallas Goedert, which again, that has something to do with the Monday night stuff. Chase McLaughlin, which I thought was an okay process move.
It was a good process move. Yeah.
But he only scores 5.6 points. And then the Bills defense allows Miami to score 30 on them.
How many did they score? The Bills. 4? I'm surprised it was that many.
Okay, so the last wide receiver I didn't name. So I'm going into Monday night. First off, I'm not going to lie. I checked the score like after the 1 o'clock games. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to win this.
Because I stopped looking.
Yeah, right. And then I look before the Monday night game and I'm like, oh, I'm still going to win this because I needed 12 PPR points between Dallas Goedert and AJ Brown. I lost by 0.42 to Denny because these guys, the two of them, didn't catch a pass during the second half of that game. There was nothing.
That's crazy, man.
It was beyond tilting. And the worst part is that you had Parker freaking Washington score 17.7, I think, 17.9. And the only reason why he got that high was because he had a return touchdown.
I know. He had a terrible game.
Do you know how dumb this matchup was?
It was so dumb.
I scored the third most points in the league this past week. You scored the second most. I think Bloom had more than us. And then at the same time, Denny, in another dynasty league I'm in, I lost by less than 0.42.
Oh.
Because I had Jordan Love and Devontae Smith versus his Jalen Hurts. It was Jalen Hurts and Dallas Goedert, but it was a tight end premium. And so I lost and it was they're undefeated. I only have one loss. Now I have 2. And it was like a really big game. And I took that L, scored the second most points in the league that week. Doesn't matter. It was a tilting Monday night game.
We do this to ourselves, first of all. We volunteer for this horrible punishment. I've never won a game by that little.
Never?
Like, I don't think I really cannot.
It's always been on the bad side.
Remember, I'm always on the L side. So that was nice. I did have a sneaky okay feeling about my lineup, my Apex lineup, because I felt decent about Judy coming out of the bye week, and they have a new offensive coordinator, and they're playing the Jets. I felt really good about Jameson Williams. I don't really know why. I didn't know Dan Campbell had taken over play calling, but I felt good about Williams. And I felt good about Jason Myers. I felt like the Seahawks were just going to have massive game script on their side, which they did.
Sure.
And that's why you pay attention to kickers, folks. This is a classic example.
It is. Do you have the right microphone on right now?
Oh,
it sounds a little. Do you guys agree that it sounds a little bit different right now?
I don't. Does that sound a little better?
Yeah. Why did that work?
I didn't have it connected to my mic.
Okay, so it was a different microphone.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, now you sound crisper. I'm kind of glad that you weren't crisp during all of that, though. You didn't deserve it.
If it makes you feel any better, I have AJ Brown in my league with Matthew Berry and the folks from Fantasy Football Happy Hour.
Yeah,
and I'm embarrassing myself in that league to an extent that you probably can't even imagine. And AJ Brown didn't help matters. I could have pulled one out. I didn't.
Did you see him doing like he was gaming? He was on a stream.
Oh, he said,
he's like, don't use me in fantasy football.
No, he said, if you have me in fantasy, drop me.
Yeah.
Get rid of me.
He's clearly just tilted, right? Like he doesn't get the usage that he wants. That offense, Kevin Patullo, I genuinely think is a bottom 3 offensive coordinator in football right now. Like they're 25th in the NFL in drives that end up in scores.
I mean, he's basically just trying to get away with it, I think. Like trying to hope that Saquon breaks a big play, or Jalen Hurts plunges into the end zone once in a while, that the defense continues to play at a really high level. That's what they're banking on, and it can't last forever.
Yeah, I mean, the weird thing, and I talked about this on 10 Trends, the weird thing is that the first 3 weeks of the season, they were really run heavy. And then they had that stretch, weeks 4 to 7, they were actually pass heavy. Like they had one game, I think it was was it Minnesota? It was some game where they were really pass heavy. And yeah. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, things aren't going to be that stupid. And then they, out of the bye, they just were extremely run heavy. And here's the other thing that I want to say about that game. I'm assuming you listen to the commentary and stuff and whatnot, but every time they referenced Matt LaFleur and they were talking to Matt LaFleur,
yeah,
he kept talking about how it was going to be a smash mouth type game, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, you realize you're the coach and it doesn't have to be this way.
It doesn't have to be, man.
It doesn't have to go like that.
Like, you have a good quarterback. I'm so sorry that you have a good quarterback, because really these Shanahan guys, Roto-Pat was saying this on the Roto Football Show the other day, and he made a great point. These Shanahan tree guys, they don't want a good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
They want someone who they can control with a joystick from the sideline.
Yeah.
And if they can't do that, then they have their guy going out and making plays on his own. Then they say, oh, well, I'm feeling existential about this now. If Jordan Love can do that, then what am I doing here? What's my role here?
And you know what? The one Shanahan, and this is obviously hyperbole, the one Shanahan tree coach that goes against that is arguably one of the best in football, Sean McVay.
It's McVay.
He goes out and he goes, no, I want Matthew Stafford. I don't want Jared Goff. I want this player who I think is an upgrade, even if it's not Matthew Stafford's playing out of his freaking mind right now.
He is.
And Sean McVay is the one, and he's the one that's been the most successful. Like, what do you know? Get your ego out of here.
Yes, it's a huge ego thing. Matt LaFleur is basically, like, unless things really turn around, gonna cost himself a head coaching job with the Packers.
You think they're gonna let him go? Because I've always been kind of I think LaFleur's like a good head coach.
I do too. Well, let's say this: he's a good play designer.
Yeah, like his offenses are consistently top 10 in football.
He makes the EPA machine go burr,
right?
Just like all the Shanny guys. Okay. Right. The play sequencing, the play calling, not so good.
Yeah, and like I think, man. It was just such a frustrating. And look, I know they had injuries that, obviously Tucker Kraft is out and Matthew Golden was out and Romeo Doubs got hurt at the end of that game. But here's the other thing that I got a new chair, but guys, by the way, you just
there you go. Wow, just after you were talking about it last week.
Yeah, I know. I make things. I get things done. Whew. You can't even see the back of it anymore. It
was a white chair before, right? What is it?
Yeah, it's like a gray chair now. Yeah. Here you can see kind of see it.
Oh, there you go. Is it more comfortable?
Yeah, it helps my posture more. It doesn't like, the other one was like leaning back too much and stuff like that.
Yeah. How's your butt?
Butt feels good. I mean, I'll be honest, it's a little bit firmer. Both my butt and
I was gonna say that. But let's get to the chair.
Both things. No, but like I don't even remember what I was going to say about Matt LaFleur.
I'm sorry. Yeah, LaFleur and
I do think that game is also a really good example of the recency bias, reactionary, takey, football consumer that's out there now, where they watch that game. They probably haven't watched a ton of Jordan Love this year, and they're like, Jordan Love's terrible. Like that, like they're, like even the late round Discord, people are like, Jordan Love sucks. And he was literally leading the NFL in EPA per dropback before Monday night.
He's good. I'm sorry to say that he's like just the next in a line of great Packers quarterbacks. There's no way around it.
He's good. He was 7th in the NFL in completion rate over expected. Like he's clearly a good quarterback who, just to be even more upset about Matt LaFleur and the way that they function. I think this is ego as well. We don't need an alpha wide receiver.
I know.
We don't need, because like Matthew Golden was not an alpha. Like that's not what he is. Like Tedero McMillan was an alpha in this class, maybe a Emeka Ibuka, but like, Matthew Golden as a prospect was always like a secondary piece that could be really efficient and good. But they just, they're not going to, they would love nothing more than for every wide receiver to have a 17% target share.
Yeah, that golden pick is going to go down as disastrous, I think.
You think?
I don't think there's any path to him being like a viable, even a wide receiver too. He's like a situational deep threat.
So I have a hard time with Golden because the model, like the Zap model, didn't like him a ton. Yeah. I think he had like an 88 score or something like that, whereas Ibuka was at like 95 and he didn't get drafted that much more before him. And look, like Matthew Golden failing is a win for the nerds, is a win for the analytics.
Oh, it feels great
because he had a really, really bad production profile.
Terrible.
But he was an early declare guy. He's still younger. And I think the problem is like, what are your expectations for this guy? Because like
the first round pick.
I understand, but I'm saying like the kind of, because teams will take wide receivers in round 1 players in round. Like I think you could argue Xavier Worthy was this way, where it's like Xavier Worthy is not an alpha. Like that's just not what his game is. He's a smaller guy. He's more of going to make the Deshaun Jackson type impact as a ceiling, as opposed to, being like a guy who's going to gobble up targets. I think Matthew Golden's in that same boat. Like Golden's a good route runner. Like he's not I don't think he's a bad player. I just don't think it's very conducive to the things that like we like and care about from a fantasy perspective.
I guess he could be good from a real football standpoint at some point, but yeah, I mean his statistical profile coming into the league,
it's rough,
was pretty ugly. I mean, I looked hard, and I remember seeing the Zap score and your take on it, and I was like, okay, I feel better about my take, because you know, you're not trying to arrive at any one point, like you're just looking objectively at the numbers, and it didn't look good.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I ranked Luther Burden. It was a second round pick over Matthew Golden, just because
Burden's going to be good.
I hope Burden's good.
He's going to be good.
I hope he's good. I love your confidence today. Is it because you beat me by 0.448 or 42 or whatever it was?
Yeah, I mean, I can't be wrong now.
Every take you have is just bold out of its mind. You just feel so confident.
I don't know, man. Like Burden is like clearly the best second best receiver for the Bears right now. Like,
yeah,
him and Colston Loveland. It's just crazy that both of those guys are like part-time players.
The Colston Loveland stuff is wild because like he literally he ran one more route than Cole Kmet last week.
Yeah.
Like what are they doing? Can we stop this?
This whole Zacchaeus bit, it's run its course. Like you got to stop.
It's got to be done. Like this has to be the change. This has to be the turning point this week, right? Like
the guy drops 3 passes last week. Burden is still just like a rotational guy who like goes out there when Zacchaeus needs a water break. Like, come on, man. Like get real with this stuff.
Burden's got that dog in him. Not gonna lie.
Such a dog.
He is a dog. He's a certified dog, and it's very, very fun. I can't remember who my top comp for Burden was now that I'm thinking about it.
Hey, you get him a quarterback, he can cook.
He can, yeah. All right, let's look at what happened last week while I go trying to find my prospect guy, because I'm really I'm really interested to see. I can't remember exactly who, but I remember it was an interesting and fun one. Last week with our streamers, we had Marcus Mariota had 18.7. Aaron Rodgers had 6.4. That was a disappointment.
Sheesh.
JJ McCarthy had 15. It was fine. Jacoby Brissett 19.4. Overall, probably our worst quarterback week in a little bit. But we're now to the point where we're not being able to pick from like better players. Flacco's not streamable anymore, all that kind of stuff. Luke Musgrave 5.3. Could have had a bigger day if not for Matt
LaFleur.
That and penalty. K Dotton 17.2. Cardio K got it done. Theo Johnson, who I benched for Dallas Goedert, which I think was the right process. I think Goddard over Johnson was fine.
I think that was the right play. Yeah.
I had Theo in so many other spots that I'm like, I got to diversify a little bit. So he had 14.5. Colston Loveland had 9.5. AJ Barner 0.3 because they didn't do anything through the air in that game. And then on defense, we had Cleveland and Carolina. They both had 5 points, so they were pretty disappointing. So overall, I'd probably give last week like a 3 out of 10 for us. Wasn't the best week in the world.
It's a tough time of the year.
I forgot these were the comps for Luther Burden. Okay. I did all that while looking for the guy.
I know how.
Yeah. You like that? Statistical comps. Number 1, DJ Moore. Number 2, Brandon Ayuk. Number 3, Jarvis Landry.
I could see like turbocharged Landry.
Yeah, I think he's a mix of like I think the Ayuk one's really interesting. Beefcake remembered that Ayuk was one. The Ayuk one was interesting because it popped up as a statistical comp, and then I talked to both Matt Harmon and Matt Waldman, and they independently came up with.
Oh, really?
And we were like the only people that had comped him to Ayuk at that point.
Okay.
And so it was cool to have the merging of the two. Matt Waldman had Burden as his wide receiver 1 in this class, so that was a fun. I remember talking to him on Perspectives last offseason, and it was a fun like 20-minute Luther Burden fest.
I think if he like can stop getting hurt and like makes good decisions as a professional football player, I feel like he could be a real thing for a long time.
I hope because I get a lot of them. All right, let's move on to week number 11. I'll kick things off. I've got a
Okay.
lot. I've actually have more guys to talk about this week than you do, because I'm the one who assigns us. I'm like I'm sort of a dictator with this show when it comes to.
Well, we talk about the stuff on Tuesday, and then when it comes down to signing, then JJ goes into dictator mode.
I just send Denny a list and I say, here's who I'm covering. Here's who. I feel like it's just easier that way.
Oh,
right?
it's so much easier.
And I try to balance it. Like I'm getting the easy ones and some hard ones, and you're getting some easy ones and some hard ones and stuff like that.
I mean, you can assign me all of them if you want. I'll do it. I will do it.
Right.
That's
Because you won by 0.42.
But most I'm surprised you didn't do that this week.
Yeah, I should have. All right, we're gonna go to Aaron Rodgers. I think Rodgers is the bounce back candidate this week in terms of just like I think of all of these guys, I'm probably playing Rodgers first. We have eight quarterback. I mean, there's a lot of quarterback streamers, but the Steelers have a 27.5 point implied team total. They're at home.
It's crazy.
It's the second best matchup for quarterbacks against Cincinnati by adjusted points allowed. The last time that these two teams play was that Thursday night game where the Steelers lost and everyone thought that they were locked to win. Yeah. And it was a back and forth matchup. And Cincinnati is horrific against tight ends. And Pittsburgh has the second highest target share to tight ends this year, despite not having Trey McBride. Arizona's the only team with a higher target share to tight ends. It's matchup wise, it's great. Personnel wise, Cincinnati's defense is bad. Sports books think that Pittsburgh's going to score a lot of points. I don't know. Like I feel like I have for instance, I picked him up in a league where I'm like borderline playoff team, and I'm playing him over Caleb Williams this week. Who gets Minnesota?
Yeah, that's the right play, I think.
Yeah, I think we're at that point. I mean, it just feels like a good bounce back week for Aaron Rodgers.
I agree that Rodgers is a fine play. I think, despite the injury news we got on Tuesday or Wednesday, I actually think Jacoby Brissett is the play this week.
Ooh.
Yeah, against the Niners. I'll get to the numbers.
Did you hear about Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Right, that's what the reference I made with the. Yeah, so Marvin Harrison Jr., in case you haven't heard, in case you haven't been locked into Roto-World, appendectomy on Tuesday, I believe. So he's out for this week. I wouldn't be surprised if he misses more time. Also, Zay Jones ruptured his Achilles last week. They have another receiver injury I can't think of. So it's like Michael Wilson and Greg Dortch. I actually went out and immediately got Greg Dortch in every league.
Yeah, I know, because I decided. Look, you have I have pecking orders in leagues, right? So like the LTS listener league at this point, because I'm I think 4 or 5. I think I'm 5-5. But my team, I've had just injury after injury, and it's just horrible. The team is horrible, and I went there last, and I did go to look for Dortch, and you had already picked him up.
Yeah, I'm committed to making the playoffs in that league. Let's just say that our guy Reg Kim, longtime listener of the show, friend of the show, had a bad beat at the hands of yours truly last week in that league. So sorry, Reg.
If anyone in the league wants a Emeka Egbuka, I'll trade him to you.
I never heard of him.
This week. He's like my only good player.
So I don't really care that there's no MHJ against San Francisco. I think Brissett will be fine. The game has a 48.5 point total. Cardinals are a slight underdog, I guess, somehow. The 49ers are allowing the 5th highest adjusted yards per attempt this season. They're getting, listen to this, since the Fred Warner injury, they've had some other linebacker injuries. 13% pressure rate. That's the lowest in the league by a good margin. So Brissett should be operating from a clean pocket, unlike last week when he was under unbelievable duress against the Seahawks. And the Niners are facing a 60% neutral pass rate, so they are a pass funnel.
The 49ers, one of the worst teams against slot guys. That's why I wanted Dortch pretty bad.
Oh, Dortch, and McBride will cook too. Jeez.
McBride could cook, yeah. But Dortch I think is like I might rank Dortch ahead of Michael Wilson, straight up.
Really? Yeah,
I might, because the matchup is just so. It's so.
I mean,
I did the sleeper show for the Late Round podcast, and I've been on a kind of heater the last 5 weeks or so. And
I remember. Yes. Okay.
And slot matchups against San Francisco has been helpful there.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, man, there are sometimes on that show, like this past week, I say it and people are like, there's no way, but I was so close. Like literally he was on my list and I took him off the last minute because I'm like, oh, this is too many guys. I don't want to go. Jalen Naylor, I had last week on my list.
Get out of here.
I swear on my life.
What was the process? What was the process?
Baltimore's horrible against slot guys, and he's running the slot pretty consistently. And if they hit a negative game script, they'd probably have a lot more 11 personnel, and so he'd be out there more.
Oh, damn,
and so
that is good process.
And so I was like, oh man, I'm gonna talk about Jalen Naylor. And I'm like, this is too deep. This is too much of like a.
It's
and
too
I think
sick.
I'm so mad because when you hit on those on that kind of thing, it just gives you. It's just like credibility shoots through the roof. Like your ego shoots through the roof.
Oh, it feels so good.
It feels so good. It feels so good.
Yeah, it is crazy.
But then people think I'm just lying about it, you know. But if I were lying about it, I'd say something like this every single week. I promise you guys, he was on my list. I'm so mad that I didn't talk about him.
On Fridays, I go on the Fantasy Football Happy Hour show, which you can find on the NFL and NBC YouTube channel and Peacock, by the way. And I talk about deep sleepers like flex guys and kind of sicko flex guys. And let me tell you, when I hit on one, it feels amazing. And when I whiff, I sound like an absolute idiot.
Yeah, but you're gonna whiff on way more than you hit.
Oh yeah. Like last week it was Pop Douglas. Oh well.
Yeah.
I meant Kyle Williams is what I meant.
Yeah, I did have Kyle Williams last week on the show, but it was, I mean, that's also a lucky one. Like it
was too.
So for as crazy as our game was in my home league, where I'm in first, and we do league median as well. But I played against the second highest scoring team. I scored the most points, and I had Devontae Smith, and that final catch that he had took me over the edge to beat him by like half a point. But I started Kyle Williams in that league this week.
Your life is so difficult. You had an amazing win, and all you can focus on is the fact that you lost to me.
But I was already in first. I didn't really need the win, you know. Like this week I won the games that I like needed to win, or sorry, that I didn't need to win, and I lost a game, at least this game. I had a pretty good week last week, so I shouldn't complain. All right, let's go to Geno Smith. This is the only time that you can play Geno Smith because I get Dallas. Dallas is the best matchup on paper for quarterbacks by adjusted points allowed. They've given up plus 58 passing yards per game to quarterbacks over expected this year, which is the worst in the league. So basically what that means is a quarterback versus his season-long average would be expected to pass for almost 60 more yards than he typically does, which is pretty crazy when you consider like what percent that would be of a player's typical passing yardage. So this is, it's a dome game. I think there's a lot to like about Geno. Do I trust him the way that I would trust a Rodgers or a Brissett? No. But do I think that he could be started? Yeah, I think he could be started.
I mean, he had a world historic bad matchup last week.
Yeah.
There was no way he was going to get there against Denver. There's just no way.
No. And we'll talk about Michael Mayer a little bit later, but that offense is just operating a little bit differently too without Jacoby Myers. So
Geno's at the point of his career where every time he takes off from the pocket, I think this could be career ending.
Yeah, he's done.
I'm so scared for Geno. Please just throw the ball away, man. All right. Let's get through these. Marcus Mariota, some are calling him after last week, against the Dolphins, 47.5 point total, way higher than I would have thought. 13 rushing attempts over his past 2 starts for Washington. The Commanders' defense is just all sorts of horrible. So they basically have to abandon the run. I think we could see that again here. More dropbacks, inflated dropbacks from Mariota against a middling Dolphins secondary.
Next, I have Jameis Winston, which I think he's probably the lowest on this list.
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, look, the process I think for getting to Jameis would be they're playing at home, probably a negative game script against Green Bay.
Yeah. Well,
He hit 23 plus points, standard points in 3 of his 7 starts last year with Cleveland. So the ceiling is there, but it's really tough to find something that you feel great about with Jameis. It's really just a vibes based streamer.
Dude, I kind of feel like the Giants are going to win this game.
Right. But but even that stance.
Oh, that's
vibe
not good.
Based, right?
That's not good.
Right. Oh, it's but it's vibes based, right? Like you're feeling that certain way, right?
I am feeling it. Yeah.
I think Green Bay is going to smoke them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's strong. Good. Yeah, considering the team is in free fall.
Yeah. I think they'll smoke them. Jameis Winston is a way better character and fantasy quarterback than real life quarterback.
Oh yeah. I mean, of course. Real life, he's a debacle. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, I mean, remember he said that after a game last year, he had a press conference where he said, I asked Jesus every night, why do I keep throwing these pick sixes? He said that. Why do I do it, Lord? That's the best.
He's awesome. I mean, I want them to win just because he's awesome, and yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got Jameis there. We have one more, right?
I have one more. I was looking at the comments. Jeremy Frey says, as a Giants fan, he's happy to see Russ demoted basically to QB3 when Jackson Dart is available. Dable was the only thing keeping the Russ thing afloat. Like,
apparently, which is weird because it seemed like it was the opposite. Like, it didn't feel that way.
Yeah.
Like, all the time when he was there. Yeah, I mean, the whole Giants thing is just kind of bizarre to me. I do think though that like he was the one. Seemed like he was the one that wanted Dart, based on the between the lines stuff, and he's the one who loses his job. I think Dart's legit. Like, I think he's going to be a starter for a long time. But yeah, man, it's a debacle up there.
So Tua is out there in a lot of leagues. Goes against the aforementioned, just like melting down Washington defense. Washington allows the league's highest dropback success rate and by far the highest dropback EPA since week 7. The teams are just cooking these guys every week.
Yeah.
And the Commanders allow the 6th highest completion rate over expected. I think Tua can pick them apart.
Yeah. Washington's been, speaking of down bad, I mean, my God, they might be the most down bad team in the NFL right now.
I feel like they're the worst team in the league.
Like, at least Miami had that surprise win last week,
right?
And like, kind of got things back. Thank God for that, by the way. We just need Mike McDaniel to stick around this year because they're great for fantasy, low key, because we got Waddle and Achane, and that's all we need, and it's fine. Like, we don't need anything else, and they're both dominating. So let's just let it be this way.
Yeah, McDaniel gets it done for fantasy, and we appreciate that.
Yes. All right, let's go to tight end Theo Johnson, 20% target share without Malik Neighbors. He's getting these high route shares week in and week out. He's been over like the 90% mark over the last couple of weeks. 86%, I think, average route share over his last 4 or 5. It's an average matchup on paper. Did you see the tight end coach is now the offensive coordinator? Maybe that matters. Maybe.
Let's go. Really?
Maybe get a little narrative there. It's not quite a shower narrative, but it's as Adam Levitan would call it, but it's a close-knit relationship narrative.
It could be. I mean, coaches shower, right?
Yeah, they shower sometimes. Yeah.
You know what this means, though? This means Danny Belly 8 catches this week.
Oh yeah, Danny Belly.
Luke Musgrave. Some are calling him Midgrave. That's wrong and it's rude, honestly. Against the Giants, Musgrave ran 77% of the routes last week. Against the Eagles, he was targeted on, getting my goggles out, 9% of those routes. 3 targets total. The Giants are allowing 8 targets per game to the tight end position. You could do worse.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we at least saw in that game that like Tucker Kraft is really good. Like that's what that game kind of showed us. But I agree.
Like their best player.
What's that?
He's like their best offensive player.
Yeah, he's amazing. And it's again going back to it's insane that he's not seeing a 25% target share a game, Tucker Kraft, But yeah, I think with Luke Musgrave,
you can do worse.
That scared me for some reason.
Next one, I'm gonna go Dawson Knox. Dalton Kincaid has a hammy. He's going to be week to week, so he'll be out probably a couple weeks. Dawson Knox, last time we do have a 1-game sample of Dalton Kincaid being out this year. And in that game, Dawson Knox had a 77% route share. He scored a touchdown, but it was against Atlanta. So he didn't have like a massive target share because Atlanta, aside from Tyler Warren last week, stops every tight end from seeing a lot of looks. And it's fine that Tyler Warren did that. I wouldn't have. I really wanted Tyler Warren to have exactly 8 for 99. I wouldn't have wanted like 7 for 90. That wouldn't. No. I wanted 8 for 99. It was perfect.
You gotta have it. By the way, I reverse jinx that stuff hardcore. Like at halftime, he had like 2 catches, right?
Yeah.
And I posted on Blue Sky. I was like, "Hey, Tyler Warren's like really bad for fantasy. I hate this guy." immediately comes out and cooks in the second half.
Do you think there's I genuinely, I know that the production's not saying that, but I still don't think that Tyler Warren's a lock to be better than Colson Loveland.
No, not a lock. Not a lock.
No, like because I think Loveland's younger, first off, but also like when Loveland has gotten the rock, he's more of the traditional type. And a lot of the stuff that Tyler Warren's great. Don't get me wrong. But a lot of the stuff that Tyler Warren gets is often manufactured and stuff. It's not the same way that
Right.
Loveland gets it done.
Right. Also Warren is like a real football guy, right? So like the film dudes can have like a 15-minute cut up of him like blocking.
Yeah,
right.
like moving around the line and
that's cool. I part of me appreciates that, but the fantasy side of my brain doesn't care at all. And so I think Loveland for fantasy, I think would be better.
Yeah, he might. Yeah, from a dynasty perspective, I don't think it's cut and dry just yet.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to I have Jonnu Smith.
Okay.
Because Cincinnati's horrible against tight ends. Cincinnati in adjusted points allowed is averaging 9.5 PPR points per game above expected per game because it's points per game.
Right.
9.5 points. So like a team tight end group comes into Cincinnati and they face the Bengals and those tight ends score 9.5 more points than they typically do. That's like 4 more points than any other team in football. They've given up like almost twice as many tight end touchdowns as any other team in the league. So I have Jonnu calling him out just because he's run the most routes for Pittsburgh this year. But I think Pat Freiermuth is basically in the same tier because there has been a little bit more like route shifting and stuff. And like, they're not super. Darnell Washington gets some love sometimes in that offense, which is really tilting. Freiermuth went off against Cincinnati also earlier this season. It was his best game by far. So if you want to go Freiermuth, that's fine. But I'm going to just shout out Jonnu just because of the route share stuff.
You could do worse than dart throw the Steelers tight ends.
Right. That's basically what
Michael Mayer mentioned him earlier in passing against Dallas, highest total of the week in that Raiders Dallas game. Mayer over the past two games for the Raiders running 57% of the routes. Not super involved last week, but the week before he was targeted on 30% of his routes. So that's pretty nice.
Yeah. Someone's asking about Mason Taylor with Garrett Wilson out. Hypothetically, great process play. Hypothetically. But I can't trust a single being in that offense outside of Breece Hall right now.
I'm going to need to see Tyrod Taylor under center before I do the Mason Taylor thing again.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, they had 11 pass attempts last week. Like, I know that the game script's not going to be that way against New England more than likely, but my gosh. All right, defense. Bears against the Vikings.
Yeah.
JJ McCarthy, who I've been a borderline apologist for a little bit because he's only started 4 games. And I can only say that so long before I'm like, he's only started 19 games.
I know.
But I want to be fair, right? With the analysis. I want to be as level-headed as I can. Everyone's just assuming that he's like terrible. He might be, but I don't know if we can. I think he's playing not great right now, but we don't know if that changes soon as he gets more reps, all that kind of stuff. With that being said, defenses against JJ McCarthy in his 4 starts, they finished his defense 4-2, 11, and 12. So they've been pretty good streamers against him. Good pressure rate for Minnesota this week because Chicago doesn't get to the quarterback very much, but JJ McCarthy in a clean pocket still isn't that great. So I'm not that concerned about that. I think you're just streaming defenses against Minnesota right now until we're proven otherwise.
McCarthy has, over the past 2 weeks, has a 48% catchable ball rate. That's the second worst behind only Bryce Young. So any way you cut it, he's been pretty bad.
Yeah.
By the way, I had the Bears, and you took my Bears. You took my Bears defense.
Sorry, you got to talk about the other one. Then. My bad.
That's okay. Who else did I have?
We have the Chiefs as like a very,
the Chiefs. Like, I mean, I think the process here is just you hope that the Broncos fall behind. Bo Nix is forced into a pass-heavy script. He's been bad in those scripts.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs defense is actually in much better health today than they were a couple weeks ago before their bye week.
The Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, I mean that's pretty much locked in. I feel like.
Yeah, they have the best. I mean, Travis Kelce's going to ride off into the sunset as a winner, and it's going to be over.
I mean, they're the only good team in the NFL right now.
The Rams are really good. They're playing really well.
Oh, the Rams are.
A Rams Chiefs Super Bowl would actually be pretty fun.
Did we have that already? No, we had Rams Bengals. Yeah,
Rams Bengals and Rams Patriots with McVay. Yeah,
I was thinking Stafford era, but
yeah.
Sign me up for that, man.
Yeah, Rams. I think because the Rams are just playing out of their mind. Like if you were to tell me that Kyron Williams was going to see a 20% dip in running back rush share this year, he would have been the easiest fade of all time. And then, but they're just so good offensively that he just falls in the end zone.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. All right. The Falcons are the last one. This is probably the most traditional streamer. I think the top one of the group. Carolina has just a 19.5 point total. Panthers are a top 5 matchup by adjusted points allowed. I'm throwing this out there, though. I don't think this is as locked in as others might, because on paper it looks great. They're traveling from Germany, and that scares me a little bit. Like, just not being totally there and ready to go. And also Carolina has I know the offense is very good, but they can run the football. They have good run blocking, and obviously Rico Dowdle can do his thing. And that's where there's a weakness with Atlanta. So if Atlanta can't get out to a lead in this game, I do fear a little bit that it's going to be a little bit more methodical and boring, and not as many pass attempts from Bryce that we would need for the Falcons to come through.
I can see that.
They're still like a top 5 defense this week, though.
We had a question, and I'm sure other people have it. Diego Lopez in the chat said, "Are the Browns a starter over the streamers this week, playing against the Ravens?"
No.
I would say absolutely not.
No, I'm not playing the Browns unless I saw Lamar Jackson didn't practice today, but it's Wednesday, so I'm not really concerned. And also someone in the late round fantasy football Discord was like, "Oh, it's sick season. He's just sick. He gets sick all the time."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Lamar has the immune system of a like they said in the chat of a toddler. Like, it's just
I feel like he had COVID for like 3 years.
Yeah, I mean he's probably got long COVID now.
I'm worried about him, honestly.
Yeah. He's always on the injury report for sickness. All right, so Chiefs, Falcons, Bears to recap. Jonnu Smith, did we talk about Michael Mayer?
We did. I mentioned him. Yep.
Okay, yeah. I'm just blanking. Dawson Knox, Luke Musgrave, Theo Johnson, Jameis Winston, Marcus Mariota, Geno Smith, Tua Tagovailoa, Aaron Rodgers, and Jacoby Brissett. Okay. Got some questions from Twitter.
Yeah.
I'll kick it off with Steak Knife Ob. This is from a week ago. When you're swimming underwater, do you keep your eyes closed or do you open them?
I open them.
You open them underwater?
Oh yeah. Oh, you mean in a pool?
Yeah, in a pool.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just open your eyes.
I keep them open. I don't even think about closing them.
No, I never open them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it doesn't feel comfortable. And you're not even seeing anything really. It's just a giant blur.
You can see easily.
You can't see. Okay.
What?
You can't see like you're seeing right now when you're underwater.
No. I mean, it's not perfect vision.
Okay,
but
you said easily. You can't see easily.
You can see like where things are, where people are.
You see blobs is what you see. You see someone with really bad astigmatism underwater. That's what it's like.
I don't know. I know that my kids like don't even think about that. They just put on goggles.
Yeah, same.
I don't wear goggles. I just jump in. Open your eyes. It's not going to hurt you.
Yeah. So Rich in chat says, "I never open my eyes either. Denny, are you okay?"
I'm okay.
I don't think you realize this is borderline like psychopath.
Really?
Behavior. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was. So
I mean, you do it like I've done it. I'll do it every once in a while, but like to do it all the time. Like, are you swimming while your eyes are just wide open?
I do laps at the pool.
And your eyes will be open when you're not wearing goggles when you do laps.
The whole time.
This is not. This cannot be. I need people to hit us up afterwards and comment on YouTube how if you do open them or close them, because I need I might even send a poll out or something. POLL to see what people are doing.
I'm surprised about this. Yeah, so someone says in the chat they invented a device to let people see underwater. It doesn't feel normal.
Right. Someone said, "Do you open your eyes while kissing?" Because that's kind of similar behavior.
No, I mean, at least I don't think I do.
That's similar. There's always those dating shows, and you know who the weird guy is because he'll go into kiss, and he's just like,
"You gotta close them, buddy. You gotta close them up." Man.
All
okay.
Right.
Well, I didn't realize it was so weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, I'm a sample size of one, and we have a few people in chat saying that it's weird. So who knows? Maybe the larger sample will say it's not.
Well, we have a comment that says, I can't even open my eyes when facing the shower. Neither can I.
Well, yeah, that's like, I mean, that's like just like pelts of.
You're getting streams of water. No. No, but I can do. Sometimes if you get a particularly chlorine heavy pool, it can sting a little. I'll be honest with you. I'm being real with you.
Yeah, you don't want the stinging.
I mean, it goes away. I'm all right.
Are your eyes red afterwards? After the pool?
Sometimes they're a little red. They're a little red, but I don't cry too much. You know why? Because I'm tough. I'm an alpha male. Everybody knows that about me. I have a question here from our patrons.
Okay.
Denver Dude, friend of the show, says, my wife has started turning on closed captioning when we watch TV at night, especially if we're watching something where the people speak in accents.
Yeah.
I believe it's ruining the viewing experience. I read ahead instead of watching what's on the screen. My wife says I'm being dramatic. No, you're right, Denver Dude. You're right. It sucks to have closed captioning on.
I used to think that until I became as old as your wife, probably, and I kind of agree with your wife that sometimes it's necessary.
Sometimes.
By the way, take out my glasses. You guys can see me without glasses for a minute because I had to clean them.
Put them back on.
I know, it's so weird. You haven't seen me like this in so long. Now I look like a guy who wears glasses.
Yeah, you do.
No, I mean, look, sometimes you need the closed captioning on to understand what's going on. I actually think, I didn't do it, but I wish that I watched Game of Thrones with closed captioning.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, British accents are indecipherable for me. Like I can't understand anything that's being said, and even the slightest British accent, I'm just like no clue what they're talking about.
Right.
So I'm not saying that they're not necessary. I also read somewhere that modern TV and movies are recorded in a way that where the background noise and background music especially tends to drown out the dialogue. And if you watch old movies and TV shows, you never have that problem. Actually, Xavier noticed that. My son, 12 years old, he noticed that when we watch old stuff, he's like, why can I hear people so well?
Interesting.
Right now? So yeah, it's necessary. It also completely ruins the viewing experience. We had to put them on. We watched the new Frankenstein on Netflix, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. And, everybody's British, so I can't understand a thing they're saying. And so we had to turn it on, and I didn't like it. I feel like it took away from the movie.
Did you watch Squid Game?
Yes.
Did you watch it in English or closed captioning?
What did I watch it? You know what? I watched it in English with closed captioning.
You did both.
I did both.
I told one of my best friends that I watched it in English, and he almost stopped talking to me for life.
Really?
Yeah, because I wasn't watching it in Korean.
The way it was meant to be watched.
Right. So you can actually hear the actors, and it was so great in English. So good.
It was fine. I mean, wow, the most recent Squid Game situation, whatever that was,
the final season
was just beyond.
Oh, it was so good. Oh, the hide and seek one.
Oh God. Yeah. It just wouldn't end. It wouldn't end.
The hide and seek one was really, really tough to I don't remember watching a show that was that hard to watch.
It was torturous.
Yeah.
God, I hated that show.
Yeah.
All right.
We got another one from Steak Knife. Actually, no, we have one from Matthew Pop, 1982. Bathroom etiquette question, of course.
Okay? Oh, well, that's what we're here for.
Let's say hypothetically you're at work. There are multiple single occupant bathrooms which lock. If you are doing your business and someone knocks, are you required to answer? Personally, I don't want to have a convo with a coworker during a number 2.
I think the play here is just to say occupied or I'm in here.
Yeah. The I'm in here line. And if you're worried if they know who it is, because even though everyone poops, just do it in a different voice, Hey, I'm in here. Or I'm doing my business.
Right. I'm taking a crap, man.
But yeah, you got to give the courtesy. Although, to be fair, you got to also you can just move the person who's looking for a stall. You don't have to bend over and look because that's creepy. You just move back a little bit and you have a better vantage point of seeing underneath the stalls. And if there's shoes and legs.
It should never happen where someone is knocking on a stall.
Like they're the police that's trying to get your drugs or something like that.
Right. I mean, if it's closed, it's closed. If it's locked, it's locked. Like there's nothing you can do about that.
Right,
And
yeah, and if it's locked, if like you should just push it. Like if they try to go, yeah, okay, I'm taking this back. You don't have to say anything because if you locked the stall and they go in and they try to open it and it's clearly locked, they know someone's in there. You don't have to say anything.
I guess.
Why would you have to say something? I'm doing a dumperoo. Like what do they need to? They don't need to know.
No, please don't say that. Whatever you choose to say.
They can hear and smell it anyway. You know?
Smell it. Oh, come on, man.
I mean, what poop doesn't smell? You're gonna try to pretend that?
Not mine.
Mr. .42.
You're so mad. All right, we have one from Brian O'Connell, friend of the show.
Sure, Brian.
How do you organize new contacts in your phone? When I meet someone new, I always put their name first, then how I met them at their place of work. For example, I met my girlfriend at work, so her contact is quote Aaron in parentheses place of work. She says I'm crazy and I just need to know who people are, but no one sees what their contact is in your phone. So I feel like I'm smart in helping myself remember.
I have some takes here. Do you have takes? I have some takes.
Not really. Go ahead.
So I think that this is more like you're in your 20s behavior. You know, you're like going out, you're meeting people at bars, or like, you know, you're in college maybe, and you're like really, you know, although if you're meeting people in college, it's just clearly someone from your school. But to me, like we're meeting people all the time, don't get me wrong, but generally when you meet that person, you have an idea of like, I don't know, for me, like where they're coming from and like what they like, you're associating pretty quickly with like, oh, you're this kid's dad or mom, or like and it's not as difficult. Not only that, I'm trying to think like how often like, I'm a fairly social person. I just don't like, how often are you getting people's numbers that you barely know?
Not for me, almost never.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just not a very like, usually if I'm getting numbers, it's like, I've met you 3 or 4 times before. And now we're like, oh, we should probably have each other's number. And so here's my number.
I mean, I'll put in the name of a parent of one of my kids' friends along, like I'll put like, I'm trying to think of like a name that I actually don't
like Eric, Jessica's dad.
Yes. So that I can remember like, oh, right, this is Eleanor's friend's dad or whatever, you know? So, you know, I get that, but see, I work from home, so I haven't met anybody since 2018.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of,
I will say though, I'm pretty classic with my phone. I just do first, last name.
Yeah. You have a,
literally all of my contacts are just first, last name.
Oh.
And then at some point, like we had new neighbors that moved in, and I had neighbor as their last name, and then I just changed it when I learned what their last name was.
So you don't have Denny, you know, in parentheses LTS.
No, mine says Denny Cuckboy. Actually, right.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Which you changed that on Monday night, I think.
I did. Actually, no, it's been there for 13 years.
Okay.
This one's from Steak Knife Ob. It says, I started a new job a few months ago and I've forgotten some of my coworkers' names. Wow, this is kind of the same, kind of along the same lines. Obviously, it's too late now to ask. Any tips?
No, I think it's over. I think you're just never gonna know their names. I mean,
it's over.
I feel like you need to operate under the assumption that you're gonna have to get by without knowing their names.
I just think your life is just it's terrible. Like you're just done. You know, there's just no reason to go on.
Yeah, I mean, you can like grind to like learn their names, like listen out, you know, and be like, okay, like, you know, the person who wears these shoes, like that's John.
Using the verb grind to figure out people's names.
Yeah, no, I mean like put forth a lot of effort.
Yeah, work hard. Right. No, I know what you're saying. It's just hilarious because usually people are grinding like their actual job.
No. Listen, I get it. I'm really bad with people's names. And when people say that, by the way, it's not that you like innately can't remember names. Like it's not like you were born with a brain that can't remember names. It's just that you're not willing to put forth the effort to remember someone's name. That's it. That's the whole thing.
I've been trying so hard over the last like year or so that when I meet people, I shake their hand or whatever and say their name back to them. It's really helpful to like then remember their name and stuff. But yeah, I think it's over. Like Denny said, it's just a done deal. But the other thing too is you can get away with never saying their name and then just waiting for it to come up in conversation because it's almost inevitably going to happen.
Here's what you do: you call him Buddy, you call him Big Dog,
right?
These are for guys, and then for the women in your office, literally never address them because you're going to say something horrible.
You walk in on a Monday morning. Hey, fellow employee, how was your weekend?
Hey, colleague, what's up? Hey, what'd you get up to this weekend? Anything crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear something funny? I forever didn't know what to call Amanda's parents.
Oh, that was a tough one for me when I was younger. Yeah.
And so they wanted me to call them by their first name, and then I just wouldn't do it. And so, because we started dating when we were 19, and so to this day, like we have talked about it because obviously, like we are with each other all the time. I mean, I've been with my wife now for about almost 20 years, and so today I just call them Nana and Pop Pop, which is their grandparent names, right? So I can directly say it like that. Yeah. But before literally Avery was born, I didn't directly call them anything, and they would always make fun of me for not directly calling them something.
So what would you do? Just say hey?
Yeah, just give them eye contact and say hey.
I've been in the same situation with my wife's parents because I knew them for a decade plus before we got married.
Yeah, I knew them too before we started dating too.
Oh,
so,
okay.
I knew them as in high school and stuff. So like it was even more.
Yeah,
stuff.
I think I've actually like at least like known a little bit, like known that they exist. They've known that I've existed since I was like 15.
Yeah.
So that's along the history. But for a long time, I called them. So my wife's last name is Ganguinis, right? And so Mr. Ganguinis, Mrs. Ganguinis. But when I got into my 30s, and I'm like, I can't call them that anymore. So I started calling them by their first names.
Yeah, well, like Amanda was really happy when we started having kids too, because then she could call them by the grandparent names because she was calling them Mr. and Mrs. Z, which is what my parents would always go by with my friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so like now it's, their grandparent names. It's just easier that way.
Yeah. So weird. What you have to do, you have to have a kid in order to refer.
I think so. I think if you're in that position, guys, the only solution is to have a child. It's really the only
right. It's a good reason to have one. I have a question real quick from Swerve and Shervin, whose name on Blue Sky, actually, this is from Blue Sky, whose name on Blue Sky is Debo Samuel Alito. Where should one find sauerkraut in the grocery store? A, next to the pickles. B, in the foreign food aisle with the pasta sauce and quote, Asian food, like they do at my local grocery store. Second question, why is my local Safeway trying to reunite the Axis powers?
That is really weird to put it. So wait, it's in like the international food type aisle? Is that
It is, yeah.
Interesting. I always would just go down like the beans aisle or something, the canned type, because you can get, you'll get it in that kind of, usually that kind of packaging or like
yeah. Did I ever tell you about the time I was shopping for pesto?
You couldn't find pesto.
I couldn't find it. I'm actually feeling like I'm losing my mind trying to find pesto.
We've all been there with something.
And right. And I'm like, no. It has to be here in the Italian section, right?
Yeah.
And so I come up to an employee, a store employee. Excuse me, do you know where the pesto is? What's that? The pesto. The pesto, the what? It's pesto. What's pesto?
It was like an episode of Black Mirror where everyone forgot what pesto was except for you.
And so she goes, you know what? I never heard of pesto. I don't know what you're talking about. But this guy over here, he stocks all of our shelves in this part of the store. He can help you. So this guy comes over and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I found the guy. Yeah. Hey, buddy, do you know where pesto is? Pesto? What's what do you do with it? I'm like, you eat it? I don't know. I mean, like you put it on your face? Like what?
I mean, to be fair, it's probably just a bunch of high schoolers, right? That are
oh God, no. Oh, no. Both of these people were older than me.
Okay. So they should know what pesto is.
And so I asked a third person, pesto. They were like, I've heard of it. I have no idea where it would be. I had to leave the store without it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Although I don't know where I would find like I'd probably look first in like an international maybe, but like also then by I don't know, like dressings maybe.
I guess I feel like I looked everywhere. It could be someone. One of the three people I talked to was like, "Go check in the chip aisle." I was like,
The chip aisle.
"The what?"
What are you talking about? Like pesto flavored Lay's or something?
No,
like
no,
that?
because I know why. Because it was
pasta
like
sauce is obviously where we would probably go first. Yeah.
right. Because they were like, "Oh, it's probably with like the chip dip," and I was like, "No, you're way off here."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but they like basically like forced me to go look in the chip aisle.
Man, you know, one time I couldn't find marshmallows.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have a Publix really close to us, and I couldn't find couldn't find the marshmallows because technically marshmallows could be grouped in a lot, like in the candy area, or like maybe buy graham crackers or something because for for s'mores or whatever, or baking, right? It could be in like so in this one it was in a candy aisle.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
But it took me a good 15 minutes going back and forth.
Oh man, I mean, it really does feel like you are losing your mind. And everybody else is like, "What's wrong with you?"
Right.
Like,
And you're like, I'm just trying to be logical here. And by the way, if you're like, I get cocoa aminos all the time, as you guys know. I eat gluten and dairy free, and I eat a lot of cocoa aminos. It's really good, soy sauce kind of alternative, and you can get those in the international section usually.
No, there you go. All right,
Yeah,
well,
so make sure you go pick that up.
I'm glad we discussed this. It was an important topic we needed to get to, and I still feel crazy about the pesto.
That's it for today's show. We're gonna end on pesto. Denny, let everyone know where they can find you.
You find me posting on the Blue Sky. You can find all my work on rotoworld.com, including the regression files, which is out right now. As I wrote a lot about Jerry Jeudy and Jameson Williams and their ever-changing role in the respective offenses. So check that out.
You can find me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Late Round QB. All my stuff over on lateround.com. Thanks for listening, everyone. We greatly appreciate it, and we will catch you next week.
Thank you for listening to Living the Stream. We hope you enjoyed the internet podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes now. It won't take long, it's fast. For more fantasy football info, check out
LateRound.com and RotoWorld.
Hope you come back soon as we share about the teams and as we live